Hi everyone, welcome to my English lesson on noun clause and adjective clause. My name is Wahyudin and today I will provide a brief explanation of these two clauses which can be quite confusing. So I will give a concise explanation that will make it easy for you to distinguish between noun clause and adjective clause. Alright, let's look at the definition of noun clause and adjective clause first. Noun clause are literally clauses that function as a noun, so here it is called non-restrictive, meaning that is a noun which is a sentence. Therefore, noun clause can be interpreted as a sentence that functions as a noun. It is actually a noun, but it takes the form of a sentence. So its function is a noun, but it is structured as a sentence. On the other hand, adjective clauses are clauses that function as adjective. So here adjective clauses can be interpreted as a clause that functions as adjective. If it is a noun, it is an adjective. Okay, this is just the literal explanation. Now, to make it clearer, I will explain each of the noun clause and adjective clause separately and then we will compare them. Okay, let's start with adjective clause first. Adjective clauses are clauses that function as adjective. Now, for the adjective clause, basically they are mostly governed by three models: using who, whom, and using which. Okay, if using who or whom, it means that the clause is describing a person. If using which, it means that the clause is describing a thing. Okay, now let's look to the example. In essence, a sentence should have a subject and a verb. Okay, so if there is a subject and verb, it is essentially a complete sentence. Now, what if there is an additional adjective clause? In these two sentences, we will analyze which subject and verb are primary. Here, there is a sentence, the man who wears a hat is my friend. Here we see that there is a subject, the man. So the subject is the man, and then there is a verb is, which is the verb. So the main sentence is just the man is my friend. So there is a subject and verb, and then in the middle there is an adjective clause. Why is that? It's using who. The man who wear a hat is my friend. So who wear hat is an adjective clause that describes the man. So who wear a hat is a sentence that describes the man. The man who wear a hat is my friend. Now, if who wear a hat is removed, it is not correct because there is already a subject. But if you want to include an adjective clause, you can do it like this. So after the subject, you follow with the adjective clause. This explains it. Then the question is, does an adjective clause always describe a subject? No, the answer is no, because an adjective clause can describe an object. What is that? I need the man. Now this I meet the man is already a complete sentence, and then I explain it with an adjective clause. The man will wear a hat. Here, wear a hat is located behind because it describes the man, which is an object. So once again, an adjective clause can describe a subject or an object because in front of it, it is a noun. So the function of the active place is to describe the noun in front of it. Alright. The second one, use whom. If you want to use an adjective, if you use whom followed by a subject-verb combination here, the main sentence is the man is my father, the subject is the man, and then the verb is, so the sentence is already complete. However, if you want to use an adjective clause, you can give whom, for example, whom you meet in the office. Here, whom explain means similarly, the man who you meet in the office explain the man. What is the difference with the one above? If the one above is complete by a verb, then the one below is completed by the subject. Alright. The third one, use which. If you use which again, which can be followed by a verb directly or by a subject-verb combination. For example, The car is mine. The subject is the car, and the verb is. Here, which has for will explain the car. Therefore, if you use which, it can be used directly with a verb or with a subject-verb combination. Alright, from these three, the conclusion is that an adjective clause explains a noun clause following it, so it has a quality. Alright, and now everyone, we move to conjunction. Conjunction is a process to make some word become one. The conjunction for the adjective clause, there are some conjunction. The conjunction for the adjective clause we can use who, whom, which, and that. This is the most common that can replace which, whom, which, who. That's talking about conjunction in the adjective clause that we use, that is who, whom, which, and that. There are four: who, whom, which, and that. Once again, who, whom, which, and that. This is the most common thing that can replace which, whom, with, who. So that can replace which, whom, with, and who. Alright, everyone. So now, secondly, we will discuss noun clause. Well, once again, this noun clause is a noun. Clause sentence means a sentence that functions as a noun. So here I will give an example where the sentences use the same noun as the noun clause. So here there is the noun clause as the subject, means the subject can be a noun. It can change to a clause noun. So now let's see here. Here is a story is interesting. His story is interesting. His story is interesting. That the example. He is a subject. Yes, the subject is his story. The verb is interesting. The story is interesting. Well, this is the subject of the verb. So then the subject is a noun. Because it is a noun, we can change the noun clause to what he said is interesting, what he thought was interesting. Well, here the difference is that if the subject at the top is a noun, if at the bottom the subject is a clause noun. Alright, everyone. Secondly, the second example is your attendance is not important to us. Your attendance is not important to us. Your presence is not important to us. Here is the subject, your attendance. The verb is. The subject is a noun, yes, or a noun phrase. So let's replace the subject with a noun clause. How, whether you come or not is not important. Here is a noun clause. So the top one is a noun, the bottom one is a noun clause. Everyone? Then we move to the third one. Is her skill in English is obvious. Her skill is in English are clear. Well, this is the subject. Yes, this is the subject. Then I change the subject from English to English. Is obvious that he can't speak English. It's clear what that means, that you can't speak English. This, this explain it. There is a subject. Here are the way to change the subject from noun to a noun. Alright, everyone. Yeah, that's what I explain about some example of English grammar. And then now we move to conjunction and clause. Of course, there are some conjunction that we use in noun clause. Here there are some. The first one is what, and then the second where, the third is why, the next is when, the next again who, how, that, and it. Let's count. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So there are 8 conjunctions that we can use. Once again, what, and then where, why, when, who, that, and it. We can use it depend what we need. Alright, everyone. And now we move to the last session. Let's focus on the difference between noun clause and adjective clause, because of course we have to differentiate between these two clauses, and this is a challenge because sometimes we can't, or sometimes it's hard to differentiate between noun clause and adjective clause, where there is explained that noun clause is a clause that function is a noun when adjective clause, while adjective clause is a clause that function as an adjective in a clause, can be a subject and object, while an adjective clause explain a noun. Yeah, that's everyone. A little explanation about adjective clause and noun clause. So sorry if there are a lot of mistakes in this uh, explanation. Hopefully, it's useful to all of you. Thank you so much.